A program on our festival we're going to really enjoy doing, and we hope you're going to enjoy hearing, is one I'm calling our Titans in C major. Well, when we think about the classic era, there are lots of great composers of the classic era, but all three always surface, and they are Haydn, Mozart, and Beethoven. And so all three of those composers are featured on this program doing wonderful pieces. So let's talk about the Beethoven. It's oftentimes referred to as one of Beethoven's great masterworks that doesn't get heard very often. However, it was one of the primary pieces on the Mostly Mozart Festival this last year in New York City. It's fascinating. All three pieces are beautifully tied together because this piece was written in 1807, I believe, and it was a commission from Prince Esterhazy. Now, if you remember, Prince Esterhazy was the patron, and the Esterhazy family was the patron of Haydn for many, many years. Well, at the end of Haydn's career, he went and retired. He went to London and worked for a little while. When he came back in 1795, the prince decided he would commission a mass, one mass a year to honor his wife. And so Haydn wrote the first 7 years, wrote a mass to honor the prince's wife. Well, Haydn fell ill and stopped writing quite a bit towards the end of his life. And so Prince Esterhazy commissioned another composer in 1807 to keep this tradition going, and he commissioned Beethoven to write a mass. Well, here's where it gets interesting, because although Beethoven wrote this fabulous mass, Prince Esterhazy didn't like it very much. As a matter of fact, was rather vocal about not liking it very much, and Beethoven ran out of the castle, or ran out of the house in a rage. As a matter of fact, the great musicologist and pianist Charles Rosen, in his book The Classical Style, refers to this as one of Beethoven's most humiliating or disappointing moments in his career. So at the end of this, why did Prince Esterhazy not like it? Because it was more contemporary than Haydn would have written. But this is one of the great masterpieces of Beethoven, and you don't hear it very often. It gets overshadowed by the Missa Solemnis. But even in the Penguin Guide to Classical Music, it refers to it as one of the great underperformed masterpieces. And it has been over 18 years since the Bach Festival performed this piece, and I think it's Beethoven's best choral writing. It's great for singers, it's great for soloists, and it is beautiful, absolutely stunningly beautiful. Another piece on that program that ties in nicely is Mozart's Coronation Mass. Now, Mozart, I think he wrote this in 1779, and he had been gone a year and a half from Salzburg trying to find actually some work. He was in Paris and Milan and other places traveling. When he got back, his father, Leopold, got him a job as an organist and composer for a cathedral in Salzburg. So this piece was believed to be performed on Easter in 1779. Now, why the name Coronation Mass? Originally it was thought that it was used for some coronation, but we believe it was probably used later in Viennese coronation in the 19th century. But the reason that name stuck is because it's very regal. It's very formal, it's beautiful, it's elegant. It's one of Mozart's greatest masses, and it is very accessible for the audience. It is truly a little gem of a masterpiece. And so to place that with the Beethoven is a natural. Now let's talk about the symphony that we're doing, and we'll tie it all together. The symphony is called the Alleluja Symphony. As you know, some of Haydn's works were given titles. Well, the Alleluja Symphony was given that title because he used an Alleluja, a Gregorian chant, an Alleluja, from the chant repertoire as the opening theme. Now, this all ties together because it was based on this vocal work or a vocal sound, and so this symphony is very reminiscent of early Haydn symphonies, number 30 in his symphony count of 104. It is just absolutely charming as can be and delightful. Now let's tie it further together also in that this theme, Alleluja, was also used by Mozart in a K553, an Alleluja canon, so Mozart also used this theme. And another kind of interesting thing, in Haydn, one of Haydn's masses, his harmony mass, he quotes Mozart's Coronation theme. So they're all three really wonderfully interwoven in these three great masters of the classical period. This is a must-see. If you love music of the classical era and you love a Mozart and a Haydn and a Beethoven, this program's for you. We hope you'll come and watch this program with us and participate. This is a rare one to have all these three pieces together, and it's all for you. We hope you're going to enjoy it.